To specify the number of digit after the decimal point, F indicates that value should be formatted as a floating point number. Axis variables values 56.236 print statement print percentage 2f percentage x print function output the result console percentage 2f inside print specify that values hash should be formatted as a floating point number with two decimal places. Percentage x insert the value of x into format specified percentage 2f. Here the output when you run print percentage 2f percentage x Python takes the values of x which is 56.236 formats it to decimal places 56.24 and print in the result. Mathematically perspective from the formatting as percentage 2f means rounding the number 56.236 to decimal places. Therefore, 56.236 rounded in two decimals is 56.24. In summary expression, print percentage 2f percentage x combined formatting and mathematical in Python in specify how a floating point number here x should be displayed in this case with two decimal places. What will be the output the following Python function? Min bracket max bracket false minus 3 minus 4 to 7. Here the option is minus 4 minus 3 to false. Here we can see min bracket max bracket false minus 3 minus 4 to 7 step by step determine the output innermost evaluation minus max bracket false minus 3 minus 4 max bracket false minus 3 minus 4 evaluate to the maximum value among the provided argument. In Python false is treated as 0, so max false minus 3 minus 4 becomes max 0 minus 3 minus 4. Therefore max bracket false minus 3 minus 4 evaluate to minus 3. Outer evaluation minus mean max false minus 3 minus 4 to 3 to 7, sorry. Now we evaluate min minus 3 to 7. Min minus 3 to 7 returns the smallest value among minus 3 to 7. The smallest value here is minus 3. So the output function min max false minus 3 minus 4 to 7 is B. Minus 3. Minus 3 here the right answer. Next question is 9. Which of the following is not a core data type Python programming? And the question options A tuples, B list, C class, D dictionary. Here the answer is in Python. Here the answer is C class. In Python programming, class is not considered a core data type. Instead, it is construct used to define new type of object. The core data type in Python include tuples, list, dictionary. Tuples ordered collection of items which are immutable can be changed. List ordered collection of items which are mutable can be changed. Dictionary collection of key values pairs which are mutable. Class is used to define custom that types and other method, but it not inherently a core data type like tuples, lists, and dictionaries, which are built into language for data stored and manipulation. Therefore, option C, class is not a core data type in Python. Here, the next question is what will be the output following expression of if x is equal to 56.236 print percentage 2f, percentage x. Here the options 56236, 5623, 56000, 5624. Here we can wrote, let's apply given the expressions code x is equal to 56.236. Therefore, operating in the Python is used variables as string in case percentage to specify that variables should be formatted as floating points number with a two decimal place. Here x is equal to 56.236, print percentage to f percentage x. Here what happened? Percentage to have specified that x should be formatted as a floating point number with two decimal places, and percentage x insert the value x into format as string. And so when run this code, output will be code 56.24. 56.24 option D. Here you can explain this certainly. The expression print percentage 2f percentage x and how relates mathematical format in Python formatting string percentage 2f is string specifier in Python what it means. 2f specifier how values should be formatted indicate the decimal point. Two specific numbers of digits after this indentation is clearly for the interpreters to understand the structure of program and determine which statement belonging to which blocks such as loop functions classes etc. Therefore in Python correct indentation is not just for readability but also for syntax correctness. Here the next question, what does pip stand for Pythons? A. Pip installs Python. B. Pip installs packages. C. Preferred installers program. All of mentioned. Here the answer is pip installs packages. Pip stands for pip installs packages is tool in Python that helps you easily install and manage additional software libraries and packages. These libraries and packages and new features and capability to Python, making it more powerful and versatile for different kinds of tasks. So when you use pip, you are install these extra pieces of software that enhance what Python can do. Here, the next question is 6. What will be the output of the following Python code? L is equal to 1020 hello. Here we can list filter bold L. Here the options are there. Here the correct answer is C. 1, 2, hello. The filter function in Python filter element from the list based on function in the case bool function. The bool functions in Python return false for empty values like 0, double slash, list, and none and true or all of the values. Let's break up down the code. Python code L is equal to 1020 hello filter underscore list is equal to list filter bool L print filter underscore list. Bool will return false for 0 double slash and list. So this element will be filtered out. It will return true for 1, 2 and hello. So this element will be kept. Therefore, filter list will contain 1 to hello. So the correct answer is option C. List 1 to hello. L is equal to 1020 hello dot slash list. Filtered underscore list is equal to list filtered bold 1. Print filtered underscore list 1 to hello. The correct answer is C. And next question is 7. Which of the following is use of id function in the Python? Which of the following function every object does have unique ID? Identity object address where value variable stored all of mentioned none of the mentioned. Here the answer is B. ID returns the identity of the object which can essentially the memory address where the values variable to stored. Here bit or more details. In Python, the different ID functions return a unique identifier for each program. This identifier is memory address where the object is stored in the computer's memory. The ID functions can be determined if two variables refers to same object. That is, if they have the same ID value, they refer to same object in memory. Therefore, option B is correct. ID returns the identity of object which is address where the values of the variable stores. Yeah. Next question is what will be output following Python function? Mean brackets max bracket false. Today we have discussed about Python question and answers. Which type of programming does Python supports? A. Object oriented programming. B. Structured programming. Functional programming. All of mentioned. Here the answer is D. All of mentioned. We can see object-oriented programming oops like organization things in real life. You can create objects that have both characteristics like color and size and action that can perform like moving or making sounds. Python lets you create this object and define what they can do. Next, structured programming. Here, the structured programming is about organizing your code in a clear and straightforward way. Python helps you do this providing ways to repeat actions, loops, make decisions, if statement, and break your code into smaller code functions. Third, functional programming. Functional programming is way of writing code that focus on using functions to perform tasks. In Python, you can create small reusable functions and even pass them around as if they were data. This approach can make your code easier to understand and maintain. Python ability to support all these styles means you can choose the best approach for each part of your program, whether organizing your code like object in OOP, keeping it clear with structured programming or using function in functional style. Python gives you two tools to write effective and readable code. Here, the next question is Python case sensitive when dealing with identifiers? A. No. B. Yes. Machine dependent. None of mentioned. Here, the answer is B. Yes. Python is case sensitive when dealing with identifiers. This means that variable function classes and other identifiers must be typed with constant capitalization. For example, my underscore variable, and my underscore variable would be considered as three different identifiers in Python. Third question, which of the following is correct extension of the Python file? Third, Python, PL, Python or IPYNB, DP. Here the correct answer is C. PY or IPYNB. Here explain PY or IPYNB. In the Python, most common file extension for Python source code files in PY. This is used for regular Python scripts and modules. Additionally, IPYNB is used for Jupyter Notebook files, which can contain Python code among other things and are widely used in data science and education. So both PY and IPYNB are correct extension for Python file depending whether it's a regular script module or Jupyter notebook respectively. Other also the etc. Here the next question, fourth question is which of the following is used to define a block of code in Python language? A indentation, key, brackets, all are mentioned. Here, the answer is indentation. In the Python, indentation is used to define a block of code, unlike many other programming languages that use curly brackets or keywords like beginning and ends to indicate code blocks. Python relies on constant indentation to signify the beginning and end of the blocks of code. This indentation is clearly for next we have Python part B question. 11th question, explain the difference between interrupted and compiled language and categorize Python accordingly. Then the answer is compiled language and interrupted language. Distinction between language lies in how they are executed by a computer. The compiled language, a compiled language is a translate directly into machine code, binary code that the computer processes can execute. This translation is done by a compiler, which process the entire program and produce an executable file. And then the execution of compiled languages, machine code file can be run multiple times without needing to recompile. The compilation processes happens once and then the execution can be efficiently. The compiled language examples are the C, C++, other etc. Then next we can see interrupted language. An interrupted language is executed line by line or statement by a interpreter. The interpreter reads the source code, interprets it, and performs the operation directly without translation it into machine code first. Then the execution of interpreted language, source code must be interrupted each time the program runs, which can lead to slower execution compared to compilation language. However, this often makes development and debugging easier. Then interrupted language users are Python, JavaScript, Ruby, and other platform, etc. Python is a primarily sorry. Python is a primarily an interrupted language. When you run a Python program, the Python interpreter reads and executes the code line by line. However, it's worth noting that Python uses a hybrid approaches. Compilation to bitcode. Python code is first compiled into an intermediate from called bytecode, which is not machine code but a lower level representation of the source code. This bitcode this is then interpreted by Python virtual machine. This bitcode compilation step previous some of the performance benefits of compilation while maintaining the flexibility of interpretation. Thus, while Python is commonly referred to as an interpreted language, it does involve a compilation steps to bytecode before the actual interpretation. Then the next 12th question, describe the significance of Python dynamic type system and its impact of code flexibility. Python dynamic type means that variables types are determined at the runtime rather than at compile time. This allows for greater flexibility is coding as variables can be assigned different type of value with the explicit type declaration. For examples, you can assign an integer to a variable and later assign a string to the same variable without any type errors. They are the example. And the impact code flexibility is significant. It enables developers to the more concise and adaptable code has they don't need to define variable type explicitly or perform type conversation. These facilities rapid prototyping and interactive development. However, it can also lead to runtime errors. However, it can lead to runtime errors if type related issues are not managed carefully, as type mismatch are only catch during execution rather than at compile time. Then next question, 13th question is describe the benefits of using Python list comprehension syntax over traditional loop construct. Then the Python's list comprehension syntax offers several advantages over traditional loops. Consistence, create list in a single line, reducing the amount of code. Readability, readability makes the code more readable by clearly expressing the intent. Then performance generally faster due to optimized internal implementation. Then filtering and transformation are formed allows for compact filtering and transformation of element in one step. Then 14th question, describe the processes of expectation handling in Python and the role of try, expect and block. Finally block, sorry. In Python expression handling, users try, expect and finally block to manage error gracefully. The try block contains code that might raise an expression if an error occurs. The expression block catches and handles. The specific expression, the finally block always execute regardless of whether an expression was raised or not, and is typically used for cleanup operations. Here, combat examples that are given. Python result is equal to 10 by 0 expect 0 divisor error. Then to print cannot divide by 0. Finally, the block always run. In these examples, expected blocks handles the 0 diversion error, while finally block ensures that its code runs regardless of outcomes. Then next, the 15th question is explain the purposes of Python docstring attribute and its use in accessing documentation string. In Python, docstring attributes are servers has a way to access the documentation string. Docstring of modules, classes, functions, and method. The docstring is a string literally that appears right after the definition of modules, class, function, or method and is used to describe its purpose and usage. And then purposes, docstring purposes are attribute to provide a built-in mechanism to access documentation directly from the code objects, helping developers understanding the functionality without needing external documentation. And then usage of docstring, you can access the docstring using attributed on module, class, function, or method. This is useful for introspections and automated documentation generation. And next, then the example of docstring program are there. Python def function will be explained. Add ab and input two variables, return, and then a plus b print as docstring output can be returned. In this example, add docstring example, retrieve the docstring, add two numbers and return the result which describe purpose of add function. This allows for quick access to the documentation embedded in the code. Then next is 60th question. Discuss the difference between Python OS path join and OS path XPath functions and their can cases. Python OS path join and OS path